Hello and welcome to another episode of the Beccy Knits podcast. I am Becky, I'm coming to you from Norfolk in England. You can find me on Instagram as @BeccyKnits and on Ravelry as Becky Monday. I'll be leaving links to everything that I talk about down below in the description box. If you are a new viewer, then welcome, and if you are a returning viewer, then welcome back. Thank you for joining me. It's probably going to be a slightly shorter episode this week. I've not got loads to show you, but that's fine. I can sometimes talk for a very long time, so maybe it's not bad to have a slightly shorter podcast. I have got a finished object, a completed pair of socks, which I'm very excited to show you. These are my DK weight socks. Yarn is from Skein and The Stitch. They are so beautiful and I really enjoyed knitting on these. I knit them magic loop. It was the first full pair of socks that I knit magic loop. They were made on a 3mm needle and so much fun. Converted to magic loop with these socks. Really enjoyed them. This was a one-of-a-kind colourway that I got from Jess over her birthday. She did like an offer where when you placed an order she included like a freebie or a couple of freebies, and I got this yarn. So yeah, absolutely beautiful. So one of these socks counts towards my total for 6 Sock September. So I think I was day 3 or day 5, I can't remember, and had a finished sock. So I was pretty pleased with that. And I also have a half finished object. So this is my warm milk sock, which is a test knit that I'm doing, and I'm making the toddler size. And yeah, I finished this the day after I finished my DK socks, and so that was the second sock for 6 Sock September ticked off, which feels so good. And yeah, it's a small sock, and yeah, it's a DK weight sock, so they were going to knit up a bit quicker, but hey, I still feel pretty good about having 2 socks under my belt, and it's only the 9th, so yeah. I have cast on the second sock for this pair. It's all tangled up, but there we go. I've just done the ribbing and the first, no, just finished the ribbing. I thought I'd done the first round of pattern, but yeah, there we go. These are super fast to knit up, and yeah, pretty portable. I'm gonna have to change which bag they're in though. I did have my needle protectors on it, but either a child would keep pulling the needle protectors off, thus rendering them completely useless, or they would just be sticking out of the bag too much, and then if I don't have the needle protectors on, then it sticks through the bag and is spiky. So I'll probably put the needle protectors back on and then put it in a different bag, so it's a bit more safe. Yeah, it doesn't take very much concentration. The pattern, once you've read it and done it a couple of times and you can see the pattern, then it's really easy to sort of keep going. You don't have to keep looking at the pattern, so it's as easy as a vanilla sock in a lot of ways. So it's quite good for like knitting in the evenings or something like that. Not so good for car knitting, but that's mostly because of the DPNs. But yeah, it's an easy knit. Then the other sock that I am working on right now, which is also a bit of a tangled mess because I just crammed it into my bag because Rory was making a beeline for it. So here we are. This is the String of Lights by Sock Witchery. I think I was about here last time, maybe it was a bit less, but made some really good progress. Just started the heel flap. I'll talk about heels in a minute, but yeah, absolutely loving this yarn so much. I think something that's really re-sparked my enjoyment of knitting socks has been changing the yarn that I use. Let me go and get a pair that I'm working on to show you how my socks used to be. So that's my, so what have we got? We've got 2 socks for 6 socks September, 3 socks for 6 socks September, so this is my 4th 6 sock September sock, and really enjoying it. Gonna do a heel flap and gusset with the contrasting colour. The yarn is by Nora George. I don't remember the colourway name, and I still haven't been able to find the ball band, and my stitch marker is from Hannah May Crochet, and the project bag that it's in is from The Lonely Knitter. One of her scrappy clubs was Doctor Who at the beginning of the year, and I got this one. I've got the needles in here to cast on the second sock because I thought I was going to do a different heel. I always do a heel flap and gusset. I thought I was going to try something new on this pair of socks, so I was going to cast on the second sock, get them both to the heel so that I could work the new heel at the same time on both socks, and hopefully that would help cement the technique in my brain, and also I would be able to make sure that they were both the same. I wouldn't then be sort of thinking, oh, hang on, did I do it that way or did I change something slightly? So I wanted to do them both at the same time. The reason for wanting to do a different heel was that I would like to take part in the Sockshealkal on Instagram, and the idea of that is to knit a different heel, one that you don't normally do. So I was going to do the Fish Lips Kiss heel because I've heard good things about that. So that was the plan, was to do the Fish Lips Kiss heel on my String of Light socks. But I completely chickened out. I just decided that I couldn't bring myself, I don't know why, to knit a new heel on some socks that I was enjoying so much. And also because they're slightly patterned, I was like, oh, I don't know where the heel is going to fall. Like, do I need to do some plain knitting before I do the heel? So I kind of thought, well, how about casting on another pair of socks and knitting the heel on those? And so that's what I did. So I've got another work in progress, which I guess makes sock 5 for 6 socks September. I've been wanting to knit a pair of scrappy socks for a long time and thought, well, this seems perfect because then I've got a pair of socks that I can work on for Scrappy Sunday. I can knit the scrappy socks that I want to knit, I can use up some yarn ends, and then I can knit a new heel in these, and it would hopefully be less stressful. I had intended to just do stripes, so changing every 10 rounds to put in a new colour. I don't intend for the socks to match, but I did do a different yarn at the top for the cast on and one row, which I will do on the second sock so that I know that they're a pair. Not that it matters, because if I knit other scrappy socks, I guess it doesn't really matter if they get mixed up, but I quite like the idea of knowing that they were knit intending to be together. So these were supposed to be vanilla, just with the stripes every 10 rounds. And then clearly I just don't want to do vanilla socks at the moment because I could not stop myself from just adding a little panel of texture to the sock. So it's just going to be a stripe that goes down sort of the side of the cuff and then into the foot. I'm hoping that it is a small enough panel that it won't interfere with the heel, because I am still intending to do the new heel on these. Still going to do I think the Fish Lips Kiss, or I might check out the Shadow Wrap heel. I had a couple of people say that they found that to be as good as the Fish Lips Kiss, but a bit easier. So we'll see. I own the Fish Lips Kiss pattern, so, whereas I don't own the Shadow Wrap pattern, so we'll see. But yeah, really enjoying these. Cast these on yesterday and have already made great progress on them, but they are now going away to be worked on Sundays. So I've got a couple of other colours in here to add in, and then we'll just see where we go from there. And this is in the little bucket bag that I picked up from a local fair recently, so I don't have a maker name, I'm afraid, but it's perfect for this kind of project where I don't know, there's like quite a few bits, but yeah, I mean, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing about ends, because at the moment there's just like yarn barf inside, so I might just completely ignore those until the very last moment and then cry as I sew in hundreds of little ends. Yeah, those are all the whips for this week. We'll see. I hope maybe to have something finished for next week to show you, but yeah, so I guess so I've got 5 socks on the go or finished for 6 Socks September, so that's great. I'm very happy with that. So hopefully I kind of intend to just knit one of these this month, and then the other one can just go as slow as it likes for as long as it takes. The String of Lights pattern, those are the ones I definitely want to have finished by the end of 6 Socks September. So yeah, it feels quite good to have 5 socks on the go. It's quite nice to sort of change things up. The other day I posted on my Instagram stories that I was finding myself regularly visiting my stash and craving a new cast on, and I was thinking like, oh, I could make a hat, or maybe I could like put together some things into a shawl. So not even thinking about doing socks, so I just switched to a different sock project. I think I'd been working a lot on my warm milk, so I thought, nope, just move on and knit a different sock. So I picked up my String of Lights a bit more, worked on that, and that got me back on track with knitting the socks. And then I just couldn't help myself with the scrappy socks, I just had to do that. But because it was socks, it felt like it was okay. It was safe because it was socks. So yeah, but that's it for everything that I've been working on this week. Yeah, the only other thing I've been doing this week, which links into the next segment, which is like acquisitions, is I have been playing with polymer clay. I bought myself a little kit of like a box of, I think it's 42 different colours of polymer clay, and I have just been having so much fun. Like when my little one is napping and then my oldest is sitting in the kitchen playing with his Lego at the table, I've just been sitting down having a little play with my polymer clay and having a blast. I love all of the little polymer clay stitch markers that so many fantastic makers produce, but I have found it really hard to find the kind of stitch markers that I want from makers who live in the UK. And a lot of US based makers don't ship to the UK, or if they do, it's like the same price again on shipping as it is for the stitch marker, which I totally get. Having shipped things to the US, I totally get that that's how much it costs, but it feels like a lot of money to spend on a stitch marker. So one day I will visit the US and I will just find somebody who is happy to receive a load of parcels for me, and then I will just gather them when I go to the US and bring them all home and be happy. So yeah, so I thought, well, why not do it yourself? I don't intend to be, I'm not intending to like open up a shop and make tons of stitch markers. I'm making these for myself. I have an idea for 1 or 2 stitch markers that I might offer if I feel like it. And I will show those to you. But yeah, so these are a couple of things that I have made this week. And I have just been having so much fun. So the first was a little teapot. This was the first thing that I made. I used to do some clay modelling for fun, so I had a vague idea of what I was doing. So I've got a little teapot, which is very sweet. And then I made, this was heavily inspired by somebody who I saw on Instagram, a little gnome. My oldest son was like very confused about where his face was. I was like, it's all under his hat and his beard. But he's like, he doesn't have a face, so he doesn't like it because he's not got a face. But yeah, a little gnome, so he's quite sweet, happy with him. And then I've been trying to make some Lord of the Rings inspired stitch markers. So I made an Eye of Sauron, which, I don't know, I think it looks like the Eye of Sauron, and that's all that matters really, but my husband was like, what? But I think it looks like the Eye of Sauron. And then the other thing that I made, which is one that I think I might make a few more of and sell them if people are interested, is again Lord of the Rings theme. It is a little hobbit hole with a little pumpkin outside. So, oh, that's the sound of my child waking up. Somebody woke up from their nap much sooner than they were supposed to. So I'll be quick. And then the last stitch marker that I made, this is another one that I might offer alongside my Fruit Loops colourway, is a little Fruit Loop. So I might do a couple of different colours of those, just as a little extra, optional extra, if you like that kind of thing. So that's been great fun to play with, and yeah, quite quick. I just make a couple, set them aside, and then when I've got 3 or 4, I'll cook them up then, and yeah. I have bought a couple of things that are on pre-order, so I'm really excited for those to come. So hopefully they'll be here at the end of this month, beginning of next month, when we're on holiday. So it's gonna be like, they're gonna come while I'm away, and I'm gonna know that they're here and I'm not gonna have them. But anyway, a couple of things on pre-order. The only other thing I bought is quite large. If you have been watching my podcast for a little while, then you might remember that I bought from Molly from Homespun House. I bought one of her Ghana baskets. I got that, and then she announced that they were moving from the US back to Germany, and that they weren't going to have the baskets anymore. Or maybe I ordered it after she announced that they were not going to be stocking them. So I was like, this is it, I have to do it now. So I ordered one, and then really wished that I had ordered more, and when I went back, the sizes that I wanted had sold out, which was very sad. Yeah, but I went to I think it's called the World Festival, the Village World Festival, something like that, in Norwich. I think they happen every month, and I saw that somebody had these baskets on their stall, and I was so excited. And they had little ones like that, and then they had the big ones, and just look at it. Oh, things are falling out of it. It is so beautiful. So I will leave a link to the seller down below, and if I can find her card, which I really hope I can, because I think she does sell them on her Etsy. But yeah, I was so happy to find the big one. I wanted one. My original plan was for it to just become my knitting basket, but it doesn't fit in the spot next to the sofa, and then if I have it out in the room, the children just get all of my knitting out of it. I'm going to insert a picture, if I still have it, of Rory sitting in this basket, just to show you how big it is. So yeah, so what I have done is I've put it upstairs next to my stash shelf, and I've just put all of my like crochet blankets in it. So there is a blanket underneath, which is not, I haven't started yet, so that's all of the yarn for that is underneath. And then on top I have got this blanket, which I'm working on very slowly. I haven't touched it in a long time, and basically I have something like 240 colourful squares, and I'm just going around each square with the white. I'm using a 3.5mm crochet hook, going around each square in the white to give them all the same border, and then I will sew them all together. I don't expect that this project will ever be finished, but maybe, but yeah, anyway, so that's what's living in there right now. It is so massive. I am so happy, and I'm really hoping that she's going to be at future village fairs, world fairs, because I need more of these. I need more. So I'm just going to take a moment to quickly talk a little bit about Six Socks September. I've mentioned it a couple of times during the episode. If you don't know what Six Socks September is, then I will leave a link to the video that I did. I will leave a link to the video that I did about Six Socks September up here somewhere. Six Socks September is a month-long knit-along with the aim of knitting 6 socks. They can be any size, any weight, as long as they were started during September and finished before the end of September, then they can be included, and they just need to have a heel and a toe, so you can do like a shorty sock. Yeah, heel, toe, any size, any weight, and they can be entered. There will be 2 giveaways for, well, 1 giveaway for participating. I will be choosing one person who uses the hashtag number 6 SS21 on Instagram, and they will win a pattern and a skein of yarn. The pattern is from Lindsay Sock Witchery. She has donated patterns to this giveaway, and you can pick whichever of her patterns you would like. And the yarn is going to be dyed by me. I'll have a couple of things that you can choose from, and yeah, just tell me which one you want and you can have it. And the same for somebody who completes Six Socks September and uses the hashtag 6SS21FO. If you know that you started a sock on the 1st or the 2nd of September, it's fine that you didn't know that you were taking part in Six Socks September, but you were. So that is it for knitting content. I'm going to talk very briefly about my life for the past week, but I have very little to tell you, so it's probably not going to be long. But if you're not interested in hearing anything about my days, I perfectly understand. And thank you for joining me, and I will see you soon. If you are sticking around for life stuff, well, here we go. Nothing has happened since last week. We're still kind of getting over whatever virus it was we had the week before. We've been really tired, and Rory has been sleeping really badly. And then with this sudden like heat wave, we've all just been in quite dreadful moods. So we've pretty much just kind of stayed in and around the house and in the garden and just tried to stay cool, and yeah, so there's not been a lot going on. Last weekend we went into the city, into Norwich, to check out the World Fair, and that was great. So but Aiden was really tired and not feeling very well, so we had to come home a little bit sooner than intended. That was Saturday, and then Sunday we just had a day around the house doing things that needed to be done, like mowing the lawn and washing the car, putting away the laundry that accumulates throughout the week. I've been looking at a lot of like upcoming yarn shows and things like that, and trying to decide if there's any that I think that I can make it to before the end of this year. I think we're getting quite a lot of work done on the house at the end of the year, so we're hopefully going to go and stay with Andrew's parents, which means that will probably be close to Harrogate for the knitting and stitching show there, so I might pop along to that one day. I'm excited. It's quite nice to start getting excited about going to events. Obviously last year I went to Unravel, and that was pretty much like the last thing that I did before lockdown, so it'll be nice to go back there. Yeah, I'm just quite excited to go to some shows. And then tomorrow, which is Friday, I'm recording on a Thursday today because tomorrow I am going out for the day without any children, which will be the first in a long time. The last time that I was like without a child that was like living in like the world was Unravel, not including times when I've been at work. But I was pregnant with Rory when I went to Unravel, so technically not child free. So yeah, tomorrow afternoon Andrew has taken the afternoon off so that I can go and spend the day in the city with my mum. We're going to do a lot of knitting. And cafe crawling, things like that. Basically just going to have a super chilled out day. And that's it. That's it for this week, I think. I think this one is grumpy. And so I am going to go and try and ungrump him. Oh no. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye!